Hello, my friends. Have you ever had something to say and then went silent? Have you ever stumbled through a conversation only later to think, that's what I should have said? Do you feel like there's times that your message gets completely lost in translation? Well, you're not alone. I can tell you that for sure. Get ready to level up your communication. My name is Kathy Riley, and I am your host and communications expert with over 25 years in litigation and another 15 as an entrepreneur. So if there's things that go wrong, I've said it. You can guarantee that. Our goal here is to share tools, systems, techniques guaranteed to shift the way you connect with others. From mastering the art of a tough conversation to cultivating a mindset that screams confidence, you will learn how to break those bad habits. Today, I am super excited that we have an amazing expert on hand, a woman that I've known for years that just screams confidence. So, Miss Vanessa is a seasoned international speaker, author, confidence, and success coach, as well as owning multiple businesses. After professionally performing on stages around the world for 2 decades and running her own beauty business, Vanessa pursued a career in fitness and the wellness industry, helping people improve their quality of life by becoming healthier and helping them reduce pain. Vanessa is a seasoned Pilates instructor, a yoga teacher, and personal trainer, as well as fitness coordinator for Visa Corporate in Denver. Vanessa is also an educator and has created multiple education programs. As a result of her experience in performance fitness, beauty, and education, Vanessa creates her self image and confidence coaching certification program, The Victory Factor. Vanessa is a successful entrepreneur, as well as the COO of Achieve Systems, which is one of the largest entrepreneurial organizations and coaching supporting systems in the industry. Not only that, she's also a wife and a devoted mother of three. Welcome, Miss Vanessa.
Thank you, Kathy. I'm so happy to be here.
I am super excited to have you here. We've just, there's so much when it comes to communication and so many mistakes that we make. And when we can hone in our skills, can get schooled, right? Our skills to show up stronger, own our worth. We are just better humans and we communicate better. So I am so honored. So for those of you that are listening, Miss Vanessa and I have known each other for years, 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 years.
Yes.
Um, and have a partnership right now within Achieve Systems. I am one of the members and leaders within that because I believe when you see something you love, you just have to join it. But more than that, one of the things that I know I've said to you, and I know others have said to you, is every time you walk in the room, you just exude confidence. What do you attribute that to?
Kathy, years of obviously working on myself, but also for me, it was just a matter of awareness and being, I think age has something to do with it. As we get older, we learn more about ourselves, we get more familiar with who we are and how other people perceive us and see us. And I think my years on stage definitely had a lot to do with that. But now it's my mission to help people come to that space in their lives earlier on without having to go through, well, we're all going to go through the trial and errors of life, right? But I think it's really understanding that no matter what happens in our lives, we're going to be okay and we can handle it. And taking the responsibility of knowing that we're in charge, that was the shift in my life that helped me get to that point where I can stand tall and say, hey, I'm confident. Things go wrong, things happen. We all have moments of insecurity, but as long as we know, no matter what happens, in the end, it's all going to be okay. That's kind of my motto for life, my solace, and the way I'm able to always have that confidence and step forward and do the things I need to do.
Oh, I love that. So you talked about dancing
Mm.
and 2 decades. I mean, that's a long time. Was there ever a time where you felt like um just not confident, or better yet, let me rephrase this. How did dancing showcase your level of confidence?
It was a journey, Kathy. And yes, many, many times. I mean, audition after audition, you're always nervous. You always wonder, are you going to be good enough? You always have the feelings of insecurity. Those things creep up a lot. And I think that is what really taught me that sometimes the things that we feel insecure about are often things that other people don't even notice, right? So we tend to reveal our insecurities to others when there's really no need, because we feel it, but they don't see it. And the moment, it's kind of like someone saying to you, "Hey, Kathy, oh my gosh, your hair looks so beautiful today." And you're like, you know what? I woke up and thought it was a really bad hair day. And then they look at you again and they go, "Oh, okay, maybe it was a really bad hair day." But if you didn't say that, they would have never seen that. So
Yeah.
you ask about the dancing. I would say as a youngster growing up, I started ballet when I was 3. I took all forms of dance all the way through. Uh, and then, you know, when you hit high school, and I was kind of a big fish in a small pond, right? So I did very well in my studio, and I was, you know, I was one of the better dancers. So I felt good about myself. Then I went to college for musical theater, where I was a very small fish in a very large pond, where, you know, basically all that got broken down. And yes, there were a lot of insecurities, a lot of realization of, oh my gosh, I'm not really as good as I thought I was. Right now, how am I going to make it in the world? And then you step into the world of professional performance, and it's a whole different ball game. Uh, and this is where I learned most of my lessons around confidence and communication, because you know, it's all objective, it's all subjective. You go into an audition, that director or choreographer has a very specific idea of who they want to employ, what they should look like. And if you don't fit that little box, no matter how good you are at what you do, you're not going to get the job. You're not going to get the part. And so then what we do as humans is we turn around and we go, I'm not good enough. What did I do wrong? Why am I not good enough for that part? Why didn't I get that gig? And that was my big lesson, because learning that, hey, the problem isn't always with me. It was just not the right thing for me at that time. And I think in business, that has carried over very well, because just like in auditions, castings, all the things that I did, heard no, no, no. In business, we hear no a lot. And we got to learn that, yes, sure, we have to assess and look at where are the things that we can improve, what are the things we can do to be better. But in the end, it's like, well, maybe it's just simply not the right time, not the right person, not the right place. And it's really finding that balance and being able to look at that and step back and take yourself out of the picture and go, okay, here's the real situation and here's how it really is. Because I mean, I've heard some really kind of, one of the stories I tell in my book is of when I went to this audition at this resort in South Africa, where everyone wanted, all performers in South Africa at some point want to perform there. And I went to this audition. There were only 2 spots available. There was about 30 of us. There were about 30 of us that auditioned. You do your thing. I felt like it went fantastic, right? And then you get home and you wait for the phone call, and you wait and you wait. And then it comes, and literally, here are the words that were spoken to me. It was like, Vanessa, you danced circles around the other girls, but you got to get rid of those thighs. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Mm-hmm. Right. I was 23, very impressionable, you know, all the insecurities came flooding in, big thighs, right? I eat healthy, I exercise, I dance 7 hours a day. What else do I do? Call my mom up. Mom, I need liposuction, all the things. And there was the voice of reason. My mom was like, hey, sweetheart, he told you you're good at what you do. You've gotten other gigs. This is his projection of what he needs. Your thighs might be a little bigger than he imagines they should be, but there's nothing wrong with them. Let's take a reality check, right? So thank goodness my mom is that voice of reason for me. She always has been. But I had to step back and I had to go, okay, because for a moment I wanted to quit, right? You're like, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. This is horrible. But then you step back and you go, okay, well, maybe I'm just not what he was looking for. I did get the gig in the end, by the way. But yeah, the girl that was just ahead of me turned it down. So I was next in line. And so my thighs was really not in the end, not the problem. That was just someone who projected their thing, whatever their thing is, onto me. And so I think that happens in our lives a lot. And that was a big lesson.
Oh, my friends, as you're listening to this, pause for a moment and hear these words. Miss Vanessa just wrapped up what I often call the itty bitty shitty committee. The people tell us things that it's all about them, right? Things that are about them, and then we project it on us, right? So, oh, okay. So, breaking this down, she talked about pausing, taking a step back, having a reality check, and then realizing that what they're looking for, it doesn't mean that we're rejected because we did something wrong. It means we're rejected because that what they expect, what they want, is not what we have. It doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with what we have. We just didn't fit that box.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I'm looking for a redhead. There you go. There's Miss Vanessa. Well, you're looking a little blonde these days too, but okay, but being a blonde, I'm like, oh, what? So I should dye my hair red? No, no. Oh, this is so good, so good, and just uh, going in the direction. So you talked about rejection after rejection after rejection, and I think as humans, we often take that really, really personal. And you talked about that a little bit. But at some point you've got to know that the rejection is not about, it's not personal. I could say do the Q-tip, right?
Right.
And quit taking it personal. Q-tip, quit taking it personal.
Yeah.
Is it, would you say that just being, because you did a lot of auditions, you got a lot of rejections, you got the yeses when it was meant to be, right?
Yes.
Always strive for the yeses.
Yes.
Did you grow a thicker skin? Or is rejection something that you're like, oh, it's no big deal, or it kind of still gets you?
I think it's perspective and obviously also where we are emotionally. Sometimes we handle rejection better than other times. Absolutely. But I think again, it's always time, especially when you feel really affected by something, it's good to really take a pause, take a deep breath, and give yourself a little time to just process it. Because in the moment, it's always horrible. It always feel bad. But you give it a few hours or a day or two, and then you move past it and you move on. And I think that is a very important skill that I learned in this whole process. If I may move on to something that I want to highlight as well, Kathy, within this subject matter. For me, also, when I got to the point where I started creating my program around confidence and self-image, I had to kind of I had to go back and re-engineer where my success came from as a performer. Um, because to be really frank and honest, I was never an exceptional dancer. I was never an exceptional singer. I was never an exceptional actress, right? I did all the things and I did them well. I was never exceptional. But I always had gigs. I always had work. I always did well in the industry. And looking back at it, I suddenly understood that it wasn't necessarily about my skills. Yes, we have to get our skills honed. We have to know what we do. We have to be qualified. We have to do the work. But I realized that the reason I was so successful was my attitude, my energy, and my work ethic. People, when I walked into an audition, it's like you said, people noticed me because, well, in the beginning, it was natural because a dancer's posture, right? We stand tall naturally. We get taught to do that. We get taught to project. We get taught to make eye contact. We get taught to do all the things that really one should do for good communication. And that is how I kind of reverse engineered and looked back at everything that I've done. Yes, the skills, all the things, but it comes back to how are you showing up? How are people perceiving you? And what is the energy you are giving them? Is it a positive energy? Is it an energy that makes them feel like they want to be around you, like they want to work with you? And so, when you asked about how my dancing helped me with my confidence, I would say that is the main piece. And
Yeah.
I only realized it much later on that that was really what had a huge impact on the amount of success I had in the performance industry.
Oh, so this is huge because, um, as a speaker coach, somebody who navigates individuals to actually take stage, how do you show up, create position and posture? Literally, it's physically what you're just talking about. It's that posture, it's standing tall, right? And especially as women, we have a tendency to shrink, right? We just kind of, our shoulders are kind of down, maybe hovered, our hips, we're balanced like our weight on one or the other versus standing tall. Men don't have this issue. And it's 2 feet solid on the ground, right? Standing tall, taking a breath, shoulders back, chin up, eyes forward. That little, it's not insignificant, but it's simple.
Yes,
Actually changes how everyone sees you in the room.
absolutely. And after the fact, again, I started teaching this and then I learned the science behind it.
Yeah.
Because, you and I talk about power poses, right? Your
Yes.
victory pose and your Wonder Woman pose and all the things, but literally just standing tall, both feet anchored, chest open, broad. When we make ourselves tall and big, that's a power pose, right?
Yeah.
That's a power posture. We don't have to have our hands on our hips or our arms in the air. But the science behind it is what's so fascinating. And that made me realize how much control we have over how we feel and how others experience us. Because it's been proven through studies and tests, and those of you who've heard Amy Cuddy talk, um, when we use our power posture, our powerful being, we are literally increasing testosterone in our brains, which is our power hormone. And when we are shrinking, we are physically increasing the cortisol levels in our brain, which is our stress hormone. So we are literally altering the way we feel by the way we act. And that is why I say what I teach seems so superficial, but it runs so deep because I really work from the outside in. But I feel like quite often we feel like we have more control over our physical body than we do our mental, emotional. And so just that realization of, hey, if I posture myself, I'm literally actively, physically changing the way I feel. And that is how others are
Yeah.
going to experience you then, right?
That's why we're two sisters from a different mister. My journey was the exact opposite. I learned it intellectually first because I was physically, and
Mhm.
I'm making this for those of you listening. I'm kind of doing the fetal position right now. So that was me physically. I had to learn how to take that intellectual side and say, okay, all I need to do is stand tall. All I need to, what you teach is so valuable. It's just the posture, the position of your body, the way you walk. This is why I say you can fake it till you make it. This is one of the ways you can fake it, because you can look like you're confident. You know, the way you walk, which is why so many people, just by looking at you, Vanessa, when you enter a room, there's just, you exude confidence because you walk with it. You stand tall. You take up space. You know, you're not afraid to make eye contact, right? You're just walking, and whether you feel confident or not, your body shows it, making everyone else, this is the nonverbal communication. Everyone else sees you as being all that in a bag of chips, which you are, by the way. But you can, you just by walking in a room, walking in a meeting, taking stage, you know, walking through the door at home, right, when your family and the kids and everyone's screaming, that you can just exude happiness and positive energy and confidence just by how you walk and stand and position yourself.
Right. And, Kathy, my tagline, I basically reframed fake it till you make it because there's so much controversy around that
Mm.
saying, right? Because, and there's ways to explain it, but it's lengthy. So my tagline is act it, feel it, be it.
Ah.
Because when you start acting it, even if you're not feeling it, by acting it, you start feeling it. And once you start feeling it, you can internalize that and it becomes part of who you are. So literally it's a process. It doesn't happen overnight. But if you can start with that acted acting in a certain way with a certain attitude and a certain emotion and a certain feeling, it will start becoming part of who you are by implementing that habit.
Mhm. Love it, love it. Okay, so you coach people a lot on confidence now. You've integrated that, morphed, she's got layers you've got layers to your business. It's amazing what you do. What would you say is one of the biggest mistakes people make when it comes to communicating? And I mean, you deal mostly with business owners, correct?
Yeah, yeah, I do. And it's funny you ask that, Kathy, because one of the things is I think people can be too analytical sometimes, but I think when it comes to communicating with others, understanding how important that body language piece is, because I know, when I heard you speak the other day, you mentioned the 7% of what people hear from you or perceive from you is actual words that you speak. So the other 90, what is it? My math. The other 93%, right? 38% of that is vocal tone, and the 55% that's left over is body language. What you need to understand is standing tall, all the body language things that we just talked about can be heard in your voice. So if you start with the posture, it translates into the vocal, the voice. And then the words that you speak are almost coincidental, right? It's like,
Hmm.
that doesn't even matter so much. So just understanding that, I don't want to say mistakes that people make, but just having that awareness of how important that is. I remember my mom, she's a saleswoman. She always said to me on the phone, because back in when she was doing most of her sales, we didn't have Zoom, right? She
Right.
always said to me, remember, people can hear how you sit when you speak on the phone. People can hear if you're smiling. People can hear if you're excited and what your facial expressions are. So, in the old days, I always used to say, put a mirror in front of you when you speak on the phone to salespeople. That was one of their things. So all I would say is have intention to be enthusiastic, have intention to be positive, have intention to connect. Uh, don't make it robotic. Don't, a lot of people come with a script or whatever. I'm like, script is okay, but you need to be natural. But if the intention is there to bring forth the positive energy, then that will come across.
So good. Yes, because it's when we step into that energetic level, right? We like, okay, I'm happy. Your brain doesn't know if you say I'm miserable. No, no, no. I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm happy. Your brain will reflect that. I mean, there's studies out there that talk about this is insane. So it was I think it was a Harvard study, basketball. They had two groups. One visually was making the shot, mentally in their head, making the shot, making the shot. The other people were physically doing it. And at the end of the day, they were the same as far as improvement goes.
Absolutely.
So mentally, then stepping into that mental, I'm excited, I'm excited. The physical kicks in, right? This is what you're saying, the mental, then the physical kicks in. And then you showcase that through nonverbal communication to your client, to your prospect, to your family, to your loved one, to your dog, whoever it is.
Right. And people might say, yeah, but now what if people can't see me? But again, it's that energy expresses through your voice if you have the intention and you take care and be aware of your posture and your body language and how you're acting while you're speaking, right? But yeah, for the most part, we are at least either on screen or in person with others. And to your point of the basketball, one of the things that I used to do as a dancer is I used to go over my choreography in my brain at night before I go to sleep.
Uh-huh.
Now, of course, physically, you have to be able to do those things. You have to do the physical work. But once you've done the physical work, if you go, yeah, if you mentally do the work, it sticks. Your brain remembers it because it can't distinguish between whether you're actually physically doing it or whether you're visualizing doing it.
Right. Your
Yeah.
body can, which is why you want to make sure your body can
Yes.
do the leaps and the dances and all of the
And
beautiful
the
movements
physical
that you
stuff.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but your brain is, it's so powerful. Um, I love that. So you have this program that you're going to share with us because you know, you live it, you embody it, you've experienced it, now you teach it. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yes. So, Kathy, I moved from all these different industries into being an entrepreneur. And now I mainly mentor uh, entrepreneurs, business owners, and speakers. That's kind of my main audience because now I'm also in the business world, working with people closely on branding, marketing, sales, all the things. So these concepts I have taken, and in this program, I really actively apply it to how can you increase your income through using these amazing tools and step into your power and show up as your brand very powerfully so that people are attracted to you, so that people are attracted to you as not only a human, but a business owner and what you represent in your business. And this is my show up program. It really is 3 Zoom calls, and then you get a bonus one-on-one with me. I spend 45 minutes with you. I go over your processes, your business, and I basically help you with what I can during that 45 minutes with regards to all the things that we talked about. And yeah, so it's fun. It's 3 hours with me and then a 45-minute one-to-one, um, just helping you really hone your image and the way you show up in the world. And by the way, if you're not an entrepreneur or business owner, these skills help with personal relationships. Hey, you got to sell as hard when you go on a first date as
Yeah,
you
data, yes.
as you do when you are selling a product or a service. So these things are really things that you can use anywhere in your life. And by the way, it's something that just popped up for me. I haven't said this in a long time, but one of my people that came through my Victory Factor program and got certified as a Victory Factor coach, she called me up one day and she said, Vanessa, I had to share this with you. One of my clients who I worked with on the posture and body language, he came back to me and said this saved his marriage. And that really filled my soul so much because, if we really understand communication and how effective it can be to understand how we project ourselves. And it doesn't always have to be happy. If you're going into an argument, you also need to know how to stand in your power and how to posture yourself to be
Right.
effective, right? So anyway, that's enough about that, but I want to share that.
Oh, I love that because you can be effective without being aggressive.
Right.
There's a fine line, which is what. So one of the things that you've talked about, I've learned so many, but I know you bring it up often when you talk about you're showing how you show up. How you show up is so important, right? You've mentioned the 7-Eleven rule before.
Yes.
Share that with our audience. They need to know what the 7-Eleven rule is.
Yes, it's one of my favorite things to share. So the 7-Eleven rule says that within the first 7 seconds of someone coming into your presence, you might not even have spoken a word yet. They have already made 11 subconscious decisions about you. That is quite a daunting, scary thought. However, that is just that, when you get into a conversation or you meet someone and you walk away and you go, that was weird, or that felt so good. We had such a connection. That is that thing. It's those subconscious things
Yeah.
that happen that creates that feeling. So all that means is be aware of how you show up and what people are getting when they walk into your presence the first time. And it's as simple as setting an intention, knowing just, I also always ask the question, how do you want people to feel in your presence? There's no wrong answer. But whatever that answer is, whether it's I want them to feel loved, or I want them to feel supported, or I want them to feel confident, just know that if you have that intention, you just need to be that thing. If you're being that thing, you help others experience it.
It's so powerful that intention, that energy we bring. Because listeners, as you hear this and process this information, please take away that, like, when you're on that first date, right? When you go for that job interview, when you do anything where you're meeting somebody for the first time, even if it's like your doctor or whatever it is, that energy that you bring, they are create the other person has judgment. They're making decisions about you, right? They're making decisions like, okay, I've already decided whether I'm going to have a cup of coffee, a glass of wine with you, right? We're going to go on date 2. And if you haven't projected and brought that positive intention, brought that authentic self, the genius that's you, if you don't show up that way, you have hurdles to overcome automatically right away. And in business, for those of you that are in business that are listening to this, is huge. If you're a speaker, this is huge. That's why Miss Vanessa, that's so powerful, that lesson. And we're wrapping up. We'll talk in a little bit about how people can find you. But before we do that, I want to jump into some really fun questions, little popcorn style. Are you ready for it?
Okay.
Okay.
Shoot,
Don't
baby. Shoot.
Yeah, don't think too much, right?
Okay.
Um, so would you say you are a morning or night person?
I'm a morning person.
You're a morning, you like your mornings.
I do.
And if you were to grab a snack, would it be sweet or salty?
Sweet, baby. Always sweet. That's
Sweet.
not even a trick question.
She's what a the definite. Yeah, okay, what's your favorite sweets then?
Ice cream. I love, I
Ah.
love ice cream and cheesecake and creme brulee.
Okay, creme brulee gets me too. That's one of the few things I'm okay to say no to sugar, but creme brulee in front of me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not one for candy as such, but chocolate, I love if it's good chocolate, Lindt or Cadbury's, something that
Yeah.
melt. I always say, coming from South Africa, like our chocolate in South Africa, when I came to the US, I was like, oh my gosh, you got to chew your chocolate here. Chew chocolate. It's got to melt in your mouth.
That's the first I've heard of that. I can't say that I'm not a big chocolate person, but so I would have nothing to compare it to. But this is good to know. Okay, us the U.S. people, we need to step up our chocolate game here. Got it. Okay, so if you were to have a wonderful dinner, would it be something you cook at home or would you go out?
Now that's a trick question. Probably go out. Probably go out. I mean, that's kind of our routine. We go out a lot. I love cooking. I enjoy cooking, but going out, yeah,
Yeah. Um, if you needed something really, really yummy right here, right now, would you eat it or drink it?
eat it.
Eat it.
Mm.
Got it. Now, are you a beach girl or a mountain girl?
I would say beach probably. I that's hard. That one's hard. I don't know. I
Because
love
you have beach property. See, you've got them
we
both
have
going on.
both.
Because
We have
you have
beach
beach
and
and you
mountain.
live.
Yeah, you know, I would probably if I had to pick one,
Right.
I would pick the beach.
The beach.
I'm
Okay.
not crazy about the sand. I prefer pool. I
I I like that. Great.
like
Okay, so
sunny, hot water. I just don't care for the sand so
the
much.
sand.
Mm.
Yeah, it kind of gets all over the place.
Mhm.
I love that. Okay, so if you were to read a book, would it be paper or Kindle, electronic?
Paper, definitely paper.
Paper, like that feel. Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Do you like if you were to watch like be entertained by something, would it be a movie or a series?
I love both. I love stories. I love movies. You know what? The movie theater experience is still something I love. I love when I want to relax and zone out, especially now with recliners. My favorite thing is to go sit on a recliner in a movie theater, have the big screen, the sound, and of course, my dibs, ice cream.
Ah,
Dibs.
the dibs. I'm like, who are you dibbing? Oh, the dibs. Oh, the ice cream. Got it. I love it. I
It's a
love
whole
it.
experience. I love a good series, don't get me wrong, but I love that movie theater experience.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. They make it so comfortable now with the big recliners
So
and it's
fun.
just it's open, right? You're not really crammed in there anymore.
And you can
It's
order food most places, so we're good.
that's true
You
too.
eat, you
Lovely,
watch,
lovely.
good stuff. Yeah.
Okay, this one might make you think, I'm not sure.
Okay.
So, music is very much a part of who we are, right? We like our music and all that. And music also sort of, have you ever seen Zoolander, the
Yeah, it's
movie?
been a very long time since I've seen
Okay.
it.
So each of the characters has a walk-on song. And a
Oh,
lot of a lot of speakers have walk-on songs. So that embodies them. What is your walk-on song if you had to pick one?
and now I can't think of the name of the song. No, 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 no. It's the one from The Greatest Showman. Uh,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
yeah, crap, what's that called? Now I gotta look it up. But yeah, I mean, and that song always pumps me up. It's beautiful, it's artistic. Wait.
I'm hopping on my Spotify. We can get this. We can get this. Is it the one uh uh
Um,
uh
Greatest Showman. Hold on.
we can
Uh,
do this. We can do this.
we can do
So
this
I
one.
I will say I'll fill it in. So one of my favorite songs is Katy Perry's Roar. That's one of the
Yes,
ones that I use because I believe we have um an amazing we need to open up and use our voice as often as possible.
absolutely. But yeah, I mean, I this is me.
From now on,
This is me.
this is me.
This is
Oh,
me.
yes, yeah.
Yes. Um,
That's
yeah, I love that song. That kind of really pumps me up, and I love the feeling around it and the confidence and the positivity around it. There's a lot of those. I mean, I have quite a few of those, but that would be the one I pick right now.
yeah. And the actress, I don't know if you know this. This is a fun fact. And when I learned about it, I thought it was really, really cool.
Mm.
That I have almost the whole Greatest Showman on my Spotify because I
And-
love it's so motivational, right? And I believe music stirs us, right? Just like
Yes.
dance, it's
Oh,
another form of
absolutely.
communication. um
Absolutely.
but the woman, and I don't know the actress's name, who I absolutely loved in that show, she was the second, like she wasn't number one to play that part, she was number two. And during one of the practices, she took the lead on the song. And because I have goosebumps thinking about it. She was so powerful during This Is Me that they made her in the play.
See, I
Yeah.
did not know that, but there are those stories out there. It's so incredible. Something similar happened to me one time, but it's amazing when you hear that happen. One time we had to one of the shows that I did, we each had a character in a theme song. My character was Ice, and I wanted the specific song, and the choreographer had already picked a different song. And I said to him, "Give me an opportunity just to show you." And so he played the song I wanted, which was Cold as Ice by yeah, it was like an 80s style show. Anyway, and I just improvised, and he was like, "Okay, you get the song, it's yours."
Yeah.
So yeah, it's amazing when those things happen, but I did not know that. Thanks for the fact.
That is, yeah, it's really a really cool story because I love that song, and it's very fitting for you as your walk-on song. So I love that. All right, so for our listeners here today that want to get to know you, they want to reach out to you, they want to learn about your Show Up program, what's the best way for them to get in touch with you?
All right, I'm going to mention two. Number one is find me on Facebook, Vanessa Raymond in Colorado. You'll find me there. I love new Facebook friends. Please join me there. And then you can also email me. My email is vanessa@victoryfactor.com.
I love that. And that's Vanessa, Vanessa at victoryfactor.com. I love it. And for those of you that watch the notes, I'm going to put a link in there so that you can Vanessa is just a click away. I love
Just
it.
a click away, baby.
Thank Click away, girlfriend. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for being here and talking with our audience, sharing your genius. You are absolutely amazing. I love that I can call you friend. And I appreciate you sharing your time and talents with our audience.
Well, I am honored that you asked me to be part of this experience, Kathy, and I love you as much. And I'm happy to call you friend. And thank you to everyone else listening out there. Thanks again, Kath.
Awesome. So friends, look for the links, get in touch with Vanessa. You need to know her. You really, really, and she, just like I, love stalking. So stalk her on Facebook. And that is a wrap for today's episode of Breaking Bad Communication. Thank you so much for being here and tuning in. But before we sign off, don't forget to subscribe. And if you like what you heard today and it resonates with you, share it, post it, tell somebody else they need to hear this, because know this: the quality of your life is determined directly by the quality of your communication. So as you head back out into the world, remember, every conversation is your chance to shape your life and the lives of others. Whether it's a tough talk, casual chat, be clear, be intentional, and listen like it matters, because it really does. The better you communicate, the more your life aligns with what you truly want. So go on, get out there, use your voice, use your words, make them work for you. Giddy up.